All right, welcome back to MRL Tier 3 Season 11. We're going to be getting ready to go into another round at Austria, and joining me once again is Miniko, as per. And, well, qualifying has already begun, so we're just going to go ahead and run into this as quickly as possible. So, taking a look at Austria, why is it a thing? 10 corners to make your way around, 3 DRS zones. There's going to be a lot of overtaking and a lot of battling through here, as you've already seen in previous years. Some going worse than others, but moving on, taking a look at the circuit, it looks quite beautiful out there, which reflects quite well when we actually go to Austria. Here we go. So we are already underway, and actually Panju is just about to finish up a lap. Got a little bit scrolly there through turn 9. Going across the line, he puts himself on pole.
Yeah, I've only had a few people set a lap time so far. It's been rather quiet, but nonetheless, just happy to get back more into some tier 3. We've had a chaotic start, you could say. Tier 4 was a little tame, but the rest was I'm pretty sure it's something you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Multiple people upset about the shirt that I'm wearing. Oh, no. You want to see the icing on the cake? Hang on a second.
What?
Hang on.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. This ought to be interesting. Looking over, though, I still have some people coming across the line. And it looks like KDM, he's going to finish a lap, and he's going to go up to third. Last week's race winner, KDM, and currently the championship leader. It's only been one race, but
so
he's sitting in third so far.
Yeah, I don't just have Williams' shirt, I also have Williams branded shorts on. So I have a full-on outfit.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I only got this stuff solely because of a complete non-bias towards Ellie.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm absolutely not biased in favor of him because what a heroic 2020 he had, and he's still doing well this season. But anyways, out of the real life stuff and on to the stuff that's actually done right now. Speaking of Williams driver, Logan's about to cross the line, and he puts himself 7th, just ahead of his teammate RC.
Yeah, decent qualifying for him. He didn't exactly have the best of weeks last week, and don't quite remember what happened to him, but he's looking to bounce back. A lot of people are looking to bounce back, especially the man currently top of the section, Panju.
Yeah, we've had some controversial results already in a couple tiers.
A little bit.
Yeah, and as McLaren team principal, I'm going to say no. Starting that. Yeah.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
It's basically one of those situations where it's like, woo! Oh, well, I'm going to shut up for a second because Kids My Axe went in a great lap and just took pole position. Great run from him, but as I was saying, I really had to hold myself back because I was going to say a lot of words and none of them would have been very pleasant. But
yeah, you are not a happy camper after tier 5. I don't think I need to say any more than that. For those that actually watched tier 5 and saw what happened to not only Mage but also his teammate, you'd understand. But we're gonna look past that. We gotta look into this, and I feel like something that my brain didn't work. I thought of something and now it's gone. Let's just look at somebody who's on the lap right now. That'd be Ketchin.
Yeah, Ketchin's running through. He's burned up a lot of ERS. One thing that I noticed that a lot of drivers will burn almost all their ERS in like the first sector, or in like half of the second sector. Like by the time they get to turn 4, they have almost no battery, which, at least in my opinion, isn't the greatest call. I think it's good to spare a little more battery than that going to the end. But Ketchin did manage well, and goes.
Yeah, from personal experience with the ERS, you don't want to use it too much on the straights. Like, obviously, that's kind of the main part where you want to use it, as Ketchin's teammate, actually, Taylor, goes up to second, sorry. But you want to have a decent amount of ERS, just a little bit less than half, so then you could actually have good a good deployment throughout the rest of the lap. Because if you have too little deployment, you could lose so much time. I tested it. I was up around about a tenth and a half on one of my laps, but because I was down and under 10%, I didn't even improve. So it's kind of a big balancing act you have to do with the ERS.
Yeah, SVM is making their way towards turn 4 on their run, and their teammate's not too far behind. Now, as is seen already and is shown already, overtaking is going to be really common around here, but how you overtake is going to be really important. Honestly, it's possible to do an overtake at over half the corners at the track. I would say the main no-go corners are the final 2 corners. But
oh yeah,
almost every other corner is fair game, albeit post turn 4. If you're gonna make an overtake, you need to have a considerable amount of speed, or the driver in front needs to make some kind of mistake to make that kind of move. So, something that a lot of people kind of take some time to realize is that racing in general, even though it's so rapid, it's such a slow, methodical, and patient how you run.
Because the thing is with this track, you've got 36 laps to do something. Okay, like that's one thing. That's not even including like safety car laps and stuff like that. So with that in mind, you do have time to kind of manage everything, but at the same time, there's one thing you also have to be aware of is mainly the track limits. We saw it a lot in Tier 4. 13 drivers, I believe, had a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Like that's how severe that is. So it's a huge balancing act around this track, and also just making a move. It may be easy in theory, but in practice, it's a lot harder, considering there's, in reality, only 2 places you can make a move. Turn 3, turn 4. Punju fastest. What?
Yeah, Punju is on a mission right now, and you kind of love to see it. I think he's definitely going to be vying for that one. His teammate down in P12 looks like... you have Winfro, who hasn't really put out a real lap. That went wide. I think that may have been an instant invalidation. It's the next lap.
It was not.
Wow, that's actually kind of a shocker. He went really wide there, but he's finally on a run. His teammate Sharky, having yet to come out on track, with less than 7 minutes left to go, it would be in his best interest to get out there on track. Same case applying to Perfectum, who actually is on an out lap right now, so never that. Winfro, meanwhile, though, is continuing on his flying lap, and looks like we have both hats are on flyers as well. Gary and Jake Laser. Winfro's gonna... Oh, he's having a really hard time with traction right now, it looks like. He's actually down on his Sector 1 time. So he's really struggling for grip. One of the other problems here around this track is that some of the curves here are deadly, particularly turn 6 and turn 9, at least in my experience. Jake Laser puts in a banger lap to take pole position right now. Can his teammate replicate that success? Crossing the line, he can't, but it is an improvement over where he once was. Winfro, meanwhile, crosses the line and improves to P5.
Yeah, so despite that slip-up in turn 4, it still managed to put in a decent time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we know for a fact that there is time on the table with that slip-up. But yeah, Jake Laser, that's out of nowhere. He seemed kind of off the pace last week. Apparently, that was just a one-off.
Yeah, that's true. Jake Laser, though, he was originally Tier 4, if I remember correctly. And then, and well, of course, I'm TP chat, so I can see what's going on. From what Nathan was explaining, Nathan basically said Jake was begging to get moved up to Tier 3. And I mean, considering what's going on, I think the move up is warranted.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it definitely pleases Nathan's eye to see that a Haas is up there for once. Because Nathan, to be fair to Nathan, this week, Haas did get their first points in courtesy of the team principal himself. So they're no longer... They're no longer in the mud. They're still kind of in the mud, but it's not as bad. But Jake Glazer on pole, that is a great sight for Haas. They need this.
Yeah, that's really a great run. Winfro, like we mentioned, still has some pace. And Punju, I think he can strike back and take that pole position. Because Punju, again, he's been like exceptionally rapid this entire quali session. Sharky supposedly is put in a purple Sector 1, but I don't know how accurate that is. Views, meanwhile, is also on a run and has already burnt up nearly 50% of their battery and are 4/10 done. Did they just complete a run, or are they actually on a run? Because it said they must have really muddled up turn 1, which I can't say I blame them.
Yeah, I think they might have just started their run. It's not looking good. Sharky's still on his run, and he's looking quite decent, but he has
No battery.
no battery by the end of this lap. We'll see what he can do. He might still have enough time to do a second run, but comes across the line, does the McLaren. He's going to go only P13. I think that lack of ERS definitely hurt him.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about before. You don't want to use up all your battery so quickly. And honestly, especially at a track like this, battery management is going to be so important with the new battery system in general. You can use a lot of battery for a lot of power, but you have to very much spend it wisely. One method that I bet many others use to help conserve ERS is going after turn 4 or like just before turn 4, changing the ERS level to none, and then just kind of running through sector 2 because you're not going to need that much battery going through here. It's all about hitting the corners right, and then getting back on the ERS just before. You can get back to 20% in just at minimum.
Yeah, that's really the main place you could gain ERS, I think. By the way, B. Coles went up to 3rd on his lap.
Yeah,
Bit of a surprise there from the kick Sauber, but here we are. He's here.
Yeah, Be Abused, meanwhile, they were on some improvement, but not anymore. 4/10 down. That's really unfortunate. I was about to point out that they were doing a good job here. SVM also a little bit down. And yeah, I imagine a lot of people are getting caught up by turn 1. Turn 1 is brutal here now. It was not in the last game. But you need to nail it right because there's so many ways to do it wrong. Go a little bit too sharp, then you exceed track limits and invalidate. Go too wide, track limits and invalidate. You hit the throttle wrong, you're going to be spinning. You hit the throttle too late, and you're going to be losing so much momentum down the corner. So there's so many ways to do it wrong. And so mistakes are bound to happen.
Yeah, very much so. I'm looking aboard with Jake Laser, seeing how he's taking... Oh, wait, actually, well, he's actually not on a lap, so take that back. He's doing a double outlap is the Haas, which is a pretty good thing to do, actually. But, yeah, with turn 1, obviously the best way to kind of go quick at that corner, you do want to cut it quite a bit, but not too much to unsettle the car. And as you said, you have to be easy on the throttle, whereas if you're too early on it, you're going to have a bunch of oversteer on the exit. It is such a huge balancing act that if you hit it just wrong, you're done for. You hit it just right, you could gain a 10th.
Yeah, Burn
like
Victim
it's
is
so marginal.
Yeah, Burn Victim is on an absolute scorcher right now. 1 corner left to go. See what he can do, because he's been like skirting just at the edge of the track limits. I've been watching on the lap. Really impressive. Can he deliver with it? Not all too much. P15 for Burn Victim. Quite unfortunate. But we have many others getting ready to go in a last run, which can pose traffic problems at a place like this.
Yeah, I'm looking over. RC is currently on a lap right now. When I went over to him, he's 8/10 up, so he's finding a lot of improvement. Is the Williams. He's going to come across the line. No, he doesn't. Oh, he just invalidates. What lap time is he going to do? 4.4. That would have put him in the top 10. Oh, no.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, like, it's such a delicate balancing act, like you mentioned at turn 1, but not just turn 1, but at a lot of corners. Those last 2 corners, I mean, ideally, you want to take turn 9 almost full throttle, just depending on what tires you're using and how much wear it is. But, you understeer, you go too wide, you get a little bit too much on the curve there at turn 9, and you're going to find yourself spinning. So there's just a lot of dangers around this track. It's very different than it was in the previous game. Some tracks, it's kind of strange. Some tracks are very much the same. Some feel entirely different. I tried out Qatar. I absolutely despised it. Like, I hated it. It was my least favorite track. Whenever I did my team, my first objective, remove it from the calendar. Tried it now this game. Qatar feels absolutely. It's an entirely different track now. Yeah, so I mean, it just goes to show...
It's on the calendar this season, too.
Yeah, it is. It is actually in 2
round
races times. Yep, it'll be round 4. So,
the NVA! Whoa, hold up.
Into the minute 3s now from NVA. What a run from the Alpine driver. Can Jake Laser challenge? I don't think he can. Now, I think he's down almost a second in Sector 1, if I read that right. Is that correct? What? Oh!
What a lap from the McLaren. What about his teammate? Can Sharky go any better? No, only 13th. Not quite what he would have wanted. What about the Ferrari? Is that Taylor? No, it's not. It's Ketchin, who actually goes up to 7th.
Yeah, speaking of Taylor, running on board with him right now, he appears to be up almost 2 tenths. If that is the case, this guy is about to go into the top 5. Oh, he goes a little bit safe into turn 9. That may cost him a little bit of time.
Punju.
Still, yeah, Punju almost had it, but Taylor crosses the line and gets a P5. I think he maybe could have gotten a P4 perhaps, but I think he played a little bit safe in turn 9. Still, brilliant run from him. And I just recognized something that's really exciting. The first 7 cars are all from different teams.
That is very true. The first repeat being Ferrari.
Yep. So Ferrari seems to be in a pretty good spot. Red Bull just in the midfield. The biggest gap between 2 cars appears to be the Mercedes. Punju in P2 and Tilla down in 17th. Williams not having a great qualifying, but as we've seen here before, qualifying is not the biggest deal. It's
Yeah,
not
it means
the end
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a mega start, it can help you out. But also, lap 1, turn 1 around here is absolutely terrifying, along with turn 3. This is one of, like, I want to eventually create a graph. Well, not a graph, but rather a tier list of all of the F1 tracks and rate them by how dangerous their turn 1 is. So, immediately Monza's going into the top tier.
Very much so. But either way, qualifying done. Gwenfro on pole position. That one was a bit of a shock, but there he is on pole with a 3.8. Punju in second, followed by NVA in third. Jake Laser fourth. Taylor rounding out our top 5. B. Cole 6th. Axe 7th. Ketchin 8th. Speedy 9th. And KDM rounding out your top 10. And the entire grid is separated by 1.5 seconds. But first down to 16th, separated by just under 8 tenths.
You know what's really crazy? These are all equal cars. In real life Formula 1, the gap between all cars in qualifying, if I'm correct, is 7/10. This is twice as long.
It was 0.73, I believe.
Yeah, and this is twice the size of the gap in equal cars, which I would say is honestly a testament to the impressive pace that a lot of these drivers have here, but also just how close the cars are IRL, that it's that
very. Yeah, it is quite. And people say that the regulations in real life don't work, that they aren't bringing the cars closer. They definitely are. Like, to anybody that's saying that, clearly you haven't been paying attention. Friendly reminder that Mercedes had like a 1.6 second buffer or something to the next car in like 2014 and stuff. So the regulations have worked.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm sure everybody's aware now they have released concept for the new 2026. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of cool. I'm fully in on that, actually. Like, they look even better, and while I do like the current rear wing style, them bringing back the boxy rear wing, I actually kind of like, and the removal of DRS in favor of their new systems for drag reduction and drag increase seem really exciting, and I think could really shape up.
Yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see how that all pans out with the new regulations. It might be kind of similar to what we saw in 22 with all the different like concepts.
It will be like
just
that.
How the cars are. It's gonna be insane. I loved 2022 as a year with how different everything is. I'm glad that we're getting another repeat. But enough of repeats. Let's get on to the race.
Yep, 5 red lights coming on here in Austria. And here we go. The race is underway. Gwenfro gets a mega start, and he is long gone. Punju a little bit less than ideal, and NVA will be able to pressure him. Going into turn 1, Punju locks up a little bit. NVA is forced to go off the track, but he gets away. Gwenfro does not get an ideal exit out of turn 1, though, and Punju will be able to challenge, maybe dive on the inside going into turn 3. No, he doesn't. He backs out, but that's a mega dive from Kiss My Axe, nearly barreling into the back of Taylor, but manages to brake at just the perfect moment. And Jake going wheel to wheel towards turn 4. Jake gets fully ahead. Will Kiss My Axe dive? He's looking for it, but Jake just outbrakes him. But meanwhile, up in front, you can see Punju directly on the heels of Gwenfro, fighting really hard. Medium tires for most of the group, these 5 drivers. And that would be Sharky, Edge, Gary, RC, and Logan. So both Williams in the back, and also 3 between 12 and 14. Rest on medium tires, which I have to agree, is the ideal tire at the beginning, but the mediums wear down horrifically bad here. It's kind of baffling that they wear out after about 8 to 10 laps, somewhere in that range. Gwenfro gets the fastest lap, of course, first lap, but Punju is really looking to pile on the pressure, and I think he's going to be able to attempt the move right now. Here he goes! Already alongside and ahead. That DRS is powerful, not to mention I think he just got a better exit. So I think even without DRS, he would have made that move. But still, DRS is powerful. So he's fully clear and in the lead. NVA, meanwhile, is close behind, as well as a small DRS train. Hang on a second. We might have a bit of a fight here between Ketchin and Kiss My Axe going into turn 4. Ketchin looking on the outside, the two banging wheels for a moment. Can Ketchin get the better exit going towards turn 6? They're still side by side, but I think Ketchin has just gotten the traction. He has. He's up ahead. Great move.
I'll tell you what, everybody's had their front wings after lap 1. That's a bit of a shocker. Then everybody's managed to keep it clean. Very, very, very impressive to say the least. But yeah, Punju getting that move done. I'm wondering if Gwenfro at the start of this race is just managing a little bit, and probably sticking on the back of Punju is probably the way to go for him. Punju now leading the race with a 6/10 gap over Gwenfro. But yeah, everybody managing to keep it clean. And I'm not surprised that people have started on the mediums because of how DRS trains are. That is going to be the biggest thing with this race, all these DRS trains.
Oh, we have had a nearly terrifying moment. KDM weaving a little bit, trying to get past Kiss My Axe. Kiss My Axe dives! Oh, and that's collisions. Ketchin gets a little bit hit. I hope that isn't damage for him. But Be Abused gets ahead of Kiss My Axe. Kiss My Axe currently stuck in a Red Bull sandwich that nearly turned into disaster. And Edge gets past Sharky and is now up to...
Again, those are the leaders for the highest hard runners, down in 12th and 13th. But yeah, bit of a squabble. Nobody getting damage out of that though, which is amazing to say the least. I thought someone at some point would have damage, but that isn't the case right now. And everybody's still, well, the top 5 are within a second of each other. Ketchin is just outside of it. We're starting to see clumps starting to form up.
Sector 3.
Yellow
Oh, that's
flag.
Logan.
Logan.
Yeah, I think he's spun on the curve.
It.
Oh, hang on a second. 3 wide as we go towards turn 1. KDM makes a double overtake. Not just Kiss My Axe, but his own teammate as he gets ahead. Kiss My Axe diving into turn 1. Kiss My Axe. Oh, he's he collected several cars. Oh, that is Kiss My Axe, Be Abused, and a couple others caught up in that. I think it was a salver of SVN. That's really unfortunate.
Virtual.
Yeah. And well, honestly, looking at that, Kiss My Axe, I think, was fighting a little bit too hard there to try and hold position. There's a time to fight and a time to just know when you've lost and kind of back out, wait for another opportunity. And I think, and I don't think he's entirely at fault, but I think that was a factor at all.
He definitely was the factor to that, because if you actually looked, he was actually fighting the rear through turn 1, and he was sideways all on his own. Oh no, we got drive-thrus for Edge and B-Coles.
Yeah, that was a brief BSC, so they definitely...
Yeah, that was very...
Yeah, they were, to put it bluntly, caught lacking after that one.
Yeah, they very much was. By the way, Sharky apparently had front wing damage. He pitted for that, and now he's kind of down the order. Virtual safety car did help a little bit, but now Edge is also into pits. I have no doubts we're going to see more people. Yeah, SV, I think Be Abused might be into the pits as well. But now that's all cleared, we're back to racing, and Taylor's going for the move on NV. They're inside of each other. What is this? What is happening?
Is this how Formula 1 cars are made?
Sure. I don't know. What car will be made from this? I don't know. NVA's in front. Now Taylor's in front. They're still inside of each other. It's happening.
What?
Oh my god, this is cinema.
Oh, NVA nearly loses it. Meanwhile, Punju and Gwenfro going wheel to wheel up at the front. Gwenfro putting on the pressure going into turn 6. Punju remains ahead, but I don't think he has barely any battery left. And that means he could be vulnerable to the McLaren of Gwenfro. Taylor just kind of watching, and I bet he's got a bowl of popcorn right next to him as this is going on.
I'll tell you who's the one that has the popcorn. It's freaking Jake Laser. He saw the interesting tactics between NBA and Taylor, and also the battle for the lead. And if you actually look at Taylor's ERS and stuff like that, he has burned next to nothing. He has just been minding his own business as Taylor goes off the track at turn 1.
Yeah,
but Jake Laser's just chilling.
Yeah, B-Coles is in the pits, and I'm wondering why. I'm guessing... Oh, he's serving
Damage?
his drive-through penalty. Duh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, can't believe we completely forgot about that. That's kind of embarrassing. Meanwhile, though, we have a battle here for P11. No, we were about to go 3 wide. Okay,
P1.
good.
P1, Gwenfro just took the lead, and now Taylor's gonna go for it on Punju down the inside. Jake Laser as well down the inside into turn 4. Can't quite get the move done, but he's still managing.
It's not over.
And Jake Laser now having the outside. Is he gonna get it done? I'll tell you what, he has.
Punju in just a few corners has lost a few positions all the way down from 1st to 4th. And he has NVA right on his tail. And just had to pan away from a battle going on in here between P8's Pregnant Speedy as well as Diney and Ars. And we also have a battle here for P11 between Tilla, Burn Victim, and Gary. So we have battling throughout. Punju, I think, is going to want a little bit of payback for what just happened. But he doesn't have much battery to play with. Unlike Jake Laser, who has over 50% battery. That's absolutely baffling. Gwenfro has none left to use. Taylor takes full advantage and makes the move to take the lead of the race. Unless Gwenfro can hold him off. Hang on a second. Gwenfro hasn't given up just yet. He's managed to hold on and gotten DRS as a benefit, which means Taylor doesn't gain a position, but in fact loses it. And Jake, from Jake Laser! There's no way he's about to make this move. This is extremely gutsy from him.
He
has. He pulls this off.
He might have just done it.
He's done it.
He did.
Jake Laser just pulled off a heroic overtake there. I think Nathan has a very big smile on his face after that one, which is well warranted given that move. Hang on a second. Is Punju thinking about it? I think he was thinking about a move to get past Taylor. Taylor has no battery left either. But now, well, actually, no, that was misinformed. Why did it blink like that?
Yeah, Taylor's got a bunch.
Yeah, he's got plenty of battery. Punju, though, not nearly as much. Why is it blinking on Taylor? Okay, that's just, it must be.
He's undone. He's recharging. And that is actually compromised because Punju's now trying to go for it. And he's got the slipstream from Gwenfro, and there go wheel to wheel. Gwenfro's trying to take the lead as well. These top 5 are absolutely going at it. Gwenfro makes the move, not quite. Punju gets it, and Jake Laser with the DRS is going to repass Gwenfro. What is happening?
Yeah, NVA is getting the wildest POV at the current moment. Oh no! That's he slips and he loses not 1, not 2, but 3 positions as NVA manages to get past. Unless Gwenfro's going to fight it here. Is he going to? No, he kind of relinquishes. Unless there's no way. Gwenfro is out of his mind for doing this as they nearly come together. Taylor goes wide and he loses positions in this battle of the top 5 is absolutely baffling. And in all of this, Ketchin is catching up and it's starting to approach DRS ring.
And he's bringing KDM with him as well. KDM is just sticking onto the back of Ketchin. This top field is starting to close up, but now NVA's lost DRS on Punju, and Punju is all over the back of Jake Laser. He doesn't have much ERS, but he can still pounce.
Yeah, the DRS is already more than powerful enough to get alongside. Will it get him again, though? That's early breaking from Jake Laser. He chooses to relinquish a switchback with DRS. Is this about to be... this is a big brain move from Jake. Absolutely ingenious. He broke early, letting Punju go ahead. He gets a DRS, pulls a switchback. With the help of DRS, he retains the lead. Absolutely
That's smart. That was smart. That was very smart of him. But one thing that they now have to take account into, Gwenfro has caught back up to these guys. These top 5, once again, close in. We're going to see a lot more action.
Yeah, we are getting a great POV right now from what's going on. This is exactly the kind of action I was hoping to see when I heard I was commentating here in Tier 3. And we are getting it in spades. Punju, meanwhile, looks like he's lining up another move. Into turn 1? Turn 1, I really don't think is an ideal overtaking spot. So Punju is being...
because you could easily get overtaken.
Exactly.
Like re-overtaken into turn 3.
Yeah, there's 2 DRS zones after that. So honestly, turn 1, not really a viable spot. Punju is fully aware, takes the full advantage of the second round of DRS to get ahead and back into the lead.
Really breaking again? Oh, he's gone deep.
Jake Laser is once again pulling the exact same strategy and has once again paid off. Punju is going to have to play this game a little bit differently. I think it would be in his best interest to try and change his approach and stay behind going into turn 3 and try to pivot going to...
This is the one thing I'm kind of noting between these top two. Punju, he definitely has the pace advantage, but the mental advantage has to go to Jake Laser right now. He is playing this mentality game to brilliance with the way he's early braking and all this stuff.
Yeah.
He is playing this amazingly.
Yeah, props to the incredibly smart driving from Jake. He's doing a great job holding on to the lead. But how long can he hold on to it with Punju's pace? Not to mention 3 other cars chasing behind. This top 5 is remaining close and actually starting to pull away from Ketchen, who was originally gaining, as KDM may be looking for an opportunity, but not just yet. Punju, meanwhile, once again, this is the exact same strategy, but can he clear Jake enough this time to actually make a big difference? We're about to find out. He holds Jake back. Punju gets an even better exit now, and he just might be able to get past Jake Laser, though. DRS proving really powerful. Clears the Mercedes. Back ahead. I think Jake may be running lower downforce than others, and that's what's giving him that huge straight line.
It might be, but he's competitive enough in the corners to cope up with it. Yellow flags, I believe Logan, once again, has...
Wonderful spins! Oh, no! Theron could not catch a break.
The thing is, he has to be careful because there's a bunch of runners coming up to him, and he rejoins very, very safely.
Yeah,
good on him, but yeah, that has... Was that just himself?
That was fully on him. NBA putting NBA under massive pressure. Taylor almost forced him off the track there. That was, that almost might be penalty worthy the way that just happened. That was, I mean, that may have been track limits for NBA, so maybe. We'll have to see what happens with the stewards if they even report it. But NBA gets fully clear and is up to P3. NBA is now back in DRS range.
Punju's learned. Punju's learned. He's figured it out. He now has DRS going into turn 4. But I don't think he's going to make the move. No, he's not.
Yeah, like I said, Jake has way too much drag going on. Oh, he puts Jake! That was almost disaster. Thankfully averted.
That was very, very close. Yeah, Punju, I think he knows at this point that Jake kinda has him beat at this stage. And, like, he's just not able to do anything for the time being. So Punju, he's gonna have to figure out what Jake is doing through certain corners, or like what his mentality is, and try and counteract that, because the aggression right now not paying off. He needs to be a little bit more passive with what he's doing.
MRK saying, I hate Nathan. Yeah,
I think did Nathan steal Jake from him or something?
Well, no, Nathan made the call and allowed Jake to move up because, well, he had already lost a tier 3 guy, so yeah. Punju, meanwhile, putting on serious pressure on Jake. They bump into each other again.
Was there?
I don't think it's damage, but it might
carbon
be.
fiber.
Yeah.
I don't see anything. I think we're good. But there was
Jake
a bit of carbon fiber.
Gets ahead. Yeah, Jake bumps into the bag of Punju because Punju just couldn't get that ideal exit. Hang on a second. Punju putting on pressure here. Could he? No, he's stuck on the wrong side. Never mind. Meanwhile, we have RC getting ahead of Technics as he...
That's actually kind of noteworthy because RC started on the hards, and he's the highest hard runner so far. He's up there in P7, so that's kind of something to note. RC is starting to find his form a little bit now on those tires. I think the mediums are no longer the best tire.
Yeah, we're coming upon a lap car among the top 4 now. This might prove to be a factor in how this battle plays out. Punju, though, I mean, he's having a really hard time. Jake is just genuinely outraged at the current moment. Punju, I think, has the pace, but he will be playing this a little bit smarter. And yeah, he is holding back. Braking late! Oh, that's pretty clear cut.
Jake Laser's managed to come out of that unscathed. Yeah. But yeah, Punju, I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Yeah, the lap car was there. Logan slowed up a lot, to be fair, into turn 3. Not sure what was up with that. Jake saw that, but I guess Punju just didn't quite catch that, and that's what kind of caused that. Someone got damage out of that, though, I think. I'm not sure. I don't see anything, so they got rather lucky, but Punju got punished with that by getting a 3-second.
Yeah, and honestly, that collision may result in a penalty post-race after what happened, because, I mean, he did nearly spin him around, but somehow it came out of it fully okay, at least seemingly. So
He's got DRS now on Logan.
Yeah, so this is going to help Jake out immensely. But Logan will want to get out of the way here right about now. Yep. And now the top 4 are clear. And
Oh, come on.
Well, to be fair, I definitely think he could have let them by. Yeah, he could have let them by earlier. Hang on a second. That's catching, getting past KDM. Now up to 5.
Yeah, and they're now caught up to Logan, who goes off the track just to get out of the way. Yeah, things are now getting a little bit spicy, you could say. There's a yellow flag, though, I think. Technic Speedy and RC just had a little bit of a coming together, not sure.
Oh, hang on!
Hunter trying to go for the switchback! Oh, tank slapper.
Yeah, NVA, though, takes that advantage and opportunity to try and get ahead. The two of them come together. They're banging wheels! They're so close to coming together! But somehow they don't. Pressure on by NVA, barely giving him any track space. They're still going side by side towards turn 9. This could spell disaster for the both of them as they both charge in. Both of them going wide, both of them still sticking together as NVA nearly gets forced off the track. And Jake and Taylor go into the pits. I was actually about to say, this is about the pit window to go in because those mediums will feel horrible, but the hards are going to feel brilliant. Honestly, I think some of the hard runners, yeah, like Bird Victim and Tilla, for example, hit earlier, which I honestly feel like is a better call because those mediums feel like they plummet, and then they just hang. It's absolutely cool.
I actually really like this call from Jake because he saw that Punju and NVA were really going at it. He just said, you know what, I'm just taking the opportunity. I'm a pit. You guys can keep fighting so that I can get the undercut. I actually really like that call from Jake.
Yeah.
And now it's just him and Taylor that were the front 4 to have pitted. They're going to work together to try and pull a gap.
Yeah, speaking of Jake, he's currently watching a 3-way battle just ahead of him. One of those people involved being his own teammate, no less. Heading towards turn 4. He went 3 wide there for a moment. Oh no! That was Gary getting hit. Oh, now I think Gary can get. Yeah, Gary can absolutely get that removed. And Gary is basically letting Taylor by there, doing his teammate no favors whatsoever in that moment. As Punju and NVA get tunneled.
What?
I'm baffled. I've lost the plot.
That's effectively just giving it to Jake and Taylor there.
Yeah, Jake has just basically gotten a free win at this point. And
well, no, he hasn't gotten the free win because Taylor's still in it.
Yeah, Taylor is still here. Taylor could potentially fight him. I mean, Jake has proven to be a very tough customer in terms of overtaking. So let's see if Taylor can make a little bit of difference here when he goes to swing here in a moment. But Jake currently
what is happening?
He's busy making some moves of his own, looking for a double overtake around the outside. Oh, but yeah, that was way too eager for his own good, and that's Taylor taking full advantage and getting ahead, making not 1, not 2, but 3 moves in the span of just a couple of corners. Great driving from Taylor, smart, methodical, and Jake making a surprising misjudgment after a really smartly driven race this one.
Yeah, the outside was not the way to go. He should have just stayed on the inside a little bit, pinch it, and then just shoot it out on the exit of turn 3, but he elected not to. But Taylor, this is brilliant for him because he's got 2 cars between himself. Well, make that 1 car between himself and Jake. And Edge is going to be so much slower. Though Taylor gets a 3! That is big!
Well, and Jake's job just became that much easier. Taylor needs to hope that he has the pace to truly make a getaway and take the win for Ferrari.
Does that count as a curse? I cursed Taylor to 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that is the first car of the season.
And of course, it had to be me. Of course, I saw it coming. But now Jake Laser's going for the move on Edge, gets it done, and now has DRS on Taylor. This is exactly what he needed.
Yeah, and we're about to see just how far he can close in. No battery usage, by the way, and he's already closed in like 3/10. So I definitely think he's running a little bit higher. Well, no, not higher, but rather lower downforce.
Quite possibly, I don't know, but either way, it's working out for Jake. Despite that little mistake they made, lack of judgment, it didn't really matter in the end. Yellow flag right in front of him. Oh, the Williams! Oh, they nearly ran into the back of Logan, I think.
Yeah, Logan was right in the way once again. Is this the second time he's been lapped? It has. That is the second time. Honestly, I would not blame Logan for just going into the pits and retiring the car at this point. Logan
Same.
is just having a really hard time in general. Oh, and he's
Yeah,
about
this
to get in the way
season
of
is
the
not
Alpine.
really. It's
Yeah,
not really been his.
it really hasn't, and I think he is indeed about to retire the car. Unfortunate, but he's had a really rough. Is he actually still going? I mean, okay, yeah, there he
Nope.
goes. Yeah, meanwhile,
Just took him
his
a bit.
teammate is currently leading the race, but he's gonna have to pit, and he probably will pit within the next 3 laps if I had to guess. But those medium tires are not gonna be fun towards the end. It could be a costly mistake, perhaps. KDM, meanwhile, he gets ahead, and now he's up to P6. Edge is gonna have to pit soon himself, as well as Gary. Meanwhile, Sharky and Gwenfro are
Wait.
both in close range. Who?
You just mentioned KDM there. He is actually a dark horse all of a sudden. 3 people in front of him have penalties, and he's caught up to the train of what was the race lead before pit stops.
That's
KDM is back in this fight all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. The question is, does he have the pace to keep up? Meanwhile, Jake
think he
Laser and
does.
Punjo are battling. Now, this battle could play perfectly into KDM's hands, depending on how it goes. Jake gets a very poor exit out of turn 1, and it could be a costly error. Hang on a second. Jake doesn't really care. Yeah, he's running. He has to be running. I'm convinced of it at this point.
He's
Because-
also got so much ERS compared to Punju.
Yeah,
like
but
he's got
yeah.
40% more.
Yeah, and he wasn't using any of it down that straight either, which is why I'm convinced of it. Yeah. I was looking, no battery usage, and he was pulling that much. Yeah, he has to be. Once again, we are back to a 5-car battle for the net lead, as Jake has relinquished to Taylor, who maybe looked for a move, but that move was not on. Virtual safety car, could that be upgraded to a full?
It's Kiss My Axe that caused the safety car there. He looped it at turn 3, lost his front wing. So, Kiss My Axe's day has not gone well after his bold overtaking, you could say.
Yeah,
But this helps RC massively because now he has a very cheap pit stop. Same with Edge as well. So this
What?
virtual safety car could bring him in the mid. What?
What?
What? What?
Okay.
I guess he's in P7.
Some advanced pit stop maneuvers for the Williams Formula 1 team. Kyle, would you care to explain what your team is doing in the pits? Because
Yeah. I think I just lost brain cells with that. Like, what?
why is it that when I'm watching something and something crazy happens, it involves the Williams? It's
Yeah, Moldy
specific-
Dragon back in the NA last season. Yeah, you're right.
exactly. It is specifically the Williams. RC though,
He's benefited from this.
he benefited quite well, and depending on how this battle goes near the top, could benefit him greatly. Because
Moldy. He just went to the chat. He was flying through the air. Yep, that's facts. KDM! Oh, no,
I
for a second.
wouldn't really call that flying. I would actually call it falling with style. Currently.
Oh, Be Amused got kicked. I didn't even notice that.
Oh well.
I think I have him added.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him back in. Meanwhile, the clouds are actually starting to form up, and it's becoming a little bit overcast, meaning that the track is going to cool down a little bit, which back on these driver's tires.
We'll see how it all pans out. We'll see for sure. Jake Laser, though, he's going to retake the lead of this race, and this is a lead that he's going to want to hold on to because he doesn't have a penalty, and he can manage this however he feels.
Yeah.
But he knows that there is a threat potentially further behind if RC can maybe catch up to these guys.
Yeah, now these mediums though, they're gonna die out with probably with 5 to 6 laps left to go. RC is gonna want to make that happen. He's gonna have to really push. Meanwhile, Ketchen is ready to lose but for RAC to be on their way to a great result, Jake Laser puts in fastest lap of the race. So he's confident in himself and wherever he can. But we're about to see one car overtake, and I think might be for an opportunity himself. Does he send it on the inside? No, he doesn't. He's waiting, but I think he's going to make another attempt here. He's getting a little bit more battery here. NBA also watching and waiting. KDM kind of just looking behind. Meanwhile, it's Jake once again getting back into the lead going into turn 4.
And straight line speed is something else.
Yeah,
That is insane straight line speed.
I'm saying that he's running low downforce. That's why he's losing out so much in the corners. I mean, you can see it in a very short span. Taylor's immediately back up on him, but Jake can just hold him back thanks to that low downforce setup. And so that's paying off in dividends for him right now.
Yeah, it really is. Taylor, though, he's kind of just managing his ERS and stuff like that. He knows that as of right now, he is technically a net P2. So this isn't really the end of the world to him. He's just going to want to hold on, but he's just kind of minding his own, just waiting for potential 3-second maybe for Jake Laser to really pounce. Somebody's trying to pounce though is Punju. He's trying to go for the move on Taylor.
We're about to go 3
Very
wide.
close to oh!
Punju diving deep!
What was that?
Jake goes off the track. He's going to lose some pace for that. Taylor now putting on the pressure. He's going to start burning some battery here. And that's NBA! Sweeping past the boat into the lead! What a move from NBA! He absolutely snatched that from underneath him. Jake Laser gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place.
I disagree with that. I firmly disagree with that. I honestly think that should get appealed for that. He was technically forced off by a move that should never have really happened. Punju went off the track to cause that. There's no way.
This race is just getting more and more dramatic between this top 5, and it's only going to get a little bit more crazy here as Taylor, with full battery, might be looking for a move. NVA will be in severe peril when we make our way towards turn 3. So let's see how well he holds up. It will not be for long. Taylor's already getting alongside. He is fully clear. Now the question is, does Jake go for a little bit of a cheeky dive here? He's thinking about it, but backs out. Punju, though, going deep, looking for a chance. As Taylor remains ahead, NVA uses DRS to yes. No, he can't. But Jake, yeah, he's gaining so rapidly. But not enough. I think Jake actually being behind a car is going to pan out. So he needs to try and get back up front and see what he can do about this 10-second. Maybe it can get removed, maybe not. That's up to the stewards. Right? But
I actually just noticed something here. Punju has 16 seconds for the penalties. I don't think he's going to finish the points after this.
He's going to be outside of the after all this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gaps. I think he might fall down.
Punju's going for a move right now, going towards turn 1. This is a very big gamble from Punju as Jake breaks late, and Punju kind of backs out. I think he kind of realized that wasn't the greatest move. I think he was just trying to pressure Jake.
Yeah, quite potentially.
Hang on, NBA going for a move, and now Jake is going to be observing and waiting. He bumps a little bit to the back of Taylor, as he won't be able to get past here. Punju, though, will be looking for a move, perhaps. And Taylor remains ahead. Jake, though, it's going to be still stuck in 30. Yeah, he just can't make a move right now because he just can't keep up in the corner. So we're going to run on board with him for a moment. You can kind of see the difference. It's a good entrance, but a little bit less than stellar. Actually, I take it back.
I think Jake had a really good couple of corners there. I think he might be just fine. But, yeah, it really does seem like he has a lot of straight line. He's putting on the overtake button, and look how much he's gaining on NVA. They both have DRS, and Jake is just massively catching. That's insane.
And he's barely even spending his battery. Meanwhile, Punju is nearly fully spent. He's not managing as well as the others. Actually, speaking of managing, KDM has nearly max power and just has been watching and waiting. I think he's kind of expecting something to blow up in the 4 cars ahead of him, and so just waiting for an opportunity. Which, yeah, honestly, great call. That's the exact kind of strategy I would employ myself here in this situation.
But the thing is, with his situation, he has the 30-second. Everybody in front of him, except for Taylor, has at least a 10-second. So technically, he's in net B2. But that being said, with all this fighting, it's allowing Ketchin to be within sniffing distance of taking that potential P2 at this point. Ketchin's looking at a net P3, but if he gets within 3 seconds of KDM, he's looking at P2.
Yeah, and this fighting is doing Ferrari a whole load of favors here, and they can be on for a great load of points, which is great for them and terrible for me. But, you know,
Yeah. We'll see how it pans out, though. There's still, like, what? If my math is right, 9 laps to go, 8 laps, something like that.
It is 8 laps.
Yeah. So still some time for stuff to happen. Speaking of stuff that is happening, NBA's gonna retake it. Shake Laser out of nowhere. Now he's finally been able to do
Punju
something.
diving
And
deep again!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and all of that, Jake gets a horrifically bad exit. Well, it doesn't matter. That
It
low
doesn't matter.
downforce is powerful. Taylor
Yeah,
manages
he's
to
just
remain ahead.
great.
Punju diving
Punju.
deep again!
Oh, contact. And then they're good though. Punju as he made the move. And no, he hasn't, because Taylor's trying to stick his nose in. Punju's
They're
trying to go
still
around
going
the
side by
outside.
side.
It's still a bit of contact.
Punju
And
gets
Punju
ahead.
it done.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary, but it worked. And now Jake Laser is kind of in a prime position to retake the lead and then essentially employ the exact same strategy he had before. We can see it getting more and more overcast. This might be crazy to say, but could this mean rain towards the final stage of this?
I'm not sure. It is definitely looking a little gloomy. And also, I like this funny situation of the top 3 have double digits worth of penalties, and then 4th and 5th, that's only 3 seconds. Jake is going to take the lead now, but Funju, is he thinking about a move? Yes,
He's diving. He's
dive down the
going
inside.
deep. He's ahead.
Or is he? Because NBA is still kind of there, but Punju does have DRS. So does NBA. NBA's actually got better straight line speed compared to Punju, and he's going to retake that P2 spot.
And despite all this fighting, Ketchin just seems to be unable to catch up. He's in a bit of a no man's land, and yeah, these clouds, it's looking worse and worse. Will there be rain the last couple of laps? Are you about to see the Sate 2021 situation?
I'm not sure.
It looks like it could go. Wait. Okay, no, I'm just.
No, there's no rain. You're good.
Yeah. No, that's just my paranoia. No big deal. Anyways, Punju is now getting on the heels of NBA, and he has, again, no battery left. Jake Laser, I think he's going to be in a pretty comfortable lead at this point because, again, low downforce, so we can catch him. Punju goes wide, and he's going to have to rejoin. And yet, Jake, too rapid on this for anybody to contest him.
Yeah, that. He's getting decent, like he's prioritizing exits a little bit more. Now he has the lead, and because those exits are good enough, nobody's been able to challenge it. At least as of right now. Yeah, it's going. This top 5 has just been on. It's just been on, never off. It's always been on. But one thing we haven't mentioned is Technic Speedy and RC having a little bit of a battle going on for P7 on the road. RC trying to dive down the inside, can't quite get it done. But yeah, there's this top 5. I know there's been action for further down the pack, but there's just been a lot up front.
Yeah, hang on a second. There's no way Taylor is okay. Taylor attempted a move towards turn 9. I'm glad he was smart enough to back out, but that was cutting it close. KDM though is now in fighting range, and he's got so much battery to use. Unlike Punju. So Punju could be in a pretty bad spot.
He's gone wide. He's gone wide, though. Taylor could try and challenge it back. They're both burning as much as they can. Taylor has that inside line. Very close between these two. Taylor has the inside line. Is he going to get it done? The answer is not quite, because KDM's still there. And now he's going to use his battery to try and get past the Ferrari, and does so. Yellow flag. Damia spun. Is that going to cause anything? Not quite. Taylor with the dive! Holy, that was out of nowhere. He goes off the track, and KDM retakes it.
Well, that was a costly error for him, and it puts him now out of DRS range of the top 5. But I suspect with all their battling, that range will quickly return, and that's an Aston Martin off the track, and he's going to take his time. Wait, he's just... Oh.
That's Axe.
Yeah, Axe having a wonderful start, and unfortunately for him, on his way to a terrible finish. Though his teammate, at the very least, can do a little bit of damage control by getting a points for him.
Yeah, Ed he's just kind of there, I guess. He's kind of a ways off of Gwenfro, but they're in P10. But yeah, either way, there's still stuff going on up front. Punju maybe looking for a move on NVA this time by Yellow flags for the back. Kiss my Axis retired. NVA's gonna actually take the lead here. Has he gotten it done? Not
Three
quite. Jake is
wide.
still there. He's got a DRS.
3 wide going on here, and we're still 3 wide as NBA is going to be losing on the lead, and Kobe losing out on second place as well, as Punju dives for it going into turn 4. He gets alongside. Can he complete the move? It's close, but he's just managed to pull it off, albeit at the cost of all of his battery.
Yeah, that's kind of a weakness we've noticed with Punju. He's never really been the
He's not
best
been, no, he's
with
not
his
been
battery management.
He has not managed very well this entire race, I feel like. He's always been, like, at less than 20%. And I think he could be conserving more, and he'd be able to fight a little bit better. I think he's driving a little bit too desperately for his own.
Maybe. It's definitely cost him quite a few. He got 3 straight-up corner cut penalties, which were pretty valid, and it's just the sheer aggression has kind of gotten to him. And now we're back in this position where early in the race, Jake was holding on to the lead and playing it smart, and Punju trying to be aggressive with these guys. And once again, Jake is just playing it very smart, though Punju decided to back out on this one. Can he maybe try for it going into turn 4?
I think he can. No, that don't. That's crazy.
Wow.
Jake is way too quick on the straights. That downforce, rather lack thereof, is absolutely insane from Jake. But Haas from.
You have to be impressed. You have to be impressed. He's making it work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just kind of like, is he going to go for a move? No, he can't. He just simply can't. Jake is too fast on the straight line for him to make any impact.
It's like Haas in real life.
Yeah, really. By the way, W. Hulkenberg, El Checo.
Facts. Facts. Nobody's going to argue that. Yeah, Hulkenberg had a brilliant race.
Yeah, speaking of the Red Bull, KTM is... Hang on a second. KTM's going to win.
As of right now, yes, but Jake, his penalty maker move. Actually, Jake had a horrible exit. Hang on. He just lost 2 positions.
Yeah, that's a big error on his part, and this is not where he wants to be. Behind 2 cars is, as we saw earlier, just a terrible spot for him because he just can't make a move. He loses out too much in the corners, and the power of the DRS the car in front of him will have just can't allow him to get alongside. So Jake is just getting kind of, like I said, a really bad spot. This is not where he wants.
By the way, I can officially say this now. Since we're now on lap 34, this entire race, we have not had a full course safety car. We've only had a virtual.
Yeah, so it goes to show impressive driving in this tier, but just a little bit further left to go before we get to this finale. My question is, how much more is it going to spark up before we cross that finish line?
The gloves are going to come off.
I mean, wait, they aren't off already? Like,
Well, I mean, there's a difference between taking them off and then them being fully off, if you know what I mean.
honestly, I think at this point they're removing the gloves and that kind of classic dueling style, slapping each other with it. Speaking of, NBA is going for a move, lane breaking from Punju in NBA.
Oh. Yeah, NBA just nowhere rejoins the track, nearly goes into the path of Jake Laser, but Jake is just gonna say thank you, I'll take it, bye.
Yeah.
Second place is mine.
Yeah, now, he might not keep it, depending on how the stewards go with that 10-second. I'm not sure how it'll go. Of course, I'm no steward myself. I'll have to see. Tilla gets a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, KTM, again, all he needs to do is just keep it intact for 1 more lap, and a race win will be all his.
And that'll be back-to-back as well, because he won last week as well in Spain, so KTM is looking back-to-back. He may not have the quali pace, but the race pace, or that Red Bull, is certainly there.
Yep, we have now
6 positions right now.
We have now 1 lap left to go, and it's now going to be all or nothing. Jake has so much battery to burn, and he's about to use it full force. We're about to see just the speed difference between himself and Punju, rapidly closing in, but he's still holding off on the battery. Interesting how patient he's playing it, as NVA is also going to be pulling out all the stops. Turn 4 is going to be the decider. Will Jake find a way through? KTM finds a way through NVA, and this makes KTM's job even easier. Punju puts on the pressure. They bang wheels for a moment, but he gets ahead. Punju still desperately fighting. The two almost coming together again. Punju, though, at this point has no choice but to relinquish. What a close finale. They nearly took each other out.
I'm surprised they haven't this entire race.
Yeah, they've been playing it so close. I'm amazed it hasn't been too close. But after all of that, full-on non-stop battle between the top 5 the entire way, Jake will be finishing first, but with the penalties, we'll have to settle for second place, as KDM is going to win after the penalties. Hang on a second, both Ferraris are on the podium, actually.
Wow, okay.
They,
That's out of nowhere. Ketchin grabbed second.
well, congratulations to the Ferraris, who just managed to kind of sneak in P2 and P3, respectively. Gwenbro taking P8, the Jake Laser takes 4th, RC 5th, NBA 7th, punching all the way down to 7th, NBA 6th, actually. Edge, rounding out the points, is Technic Speedy, takes 9th.
Actually, gotta mention this. RC, fair play. He started dead last. He finished as 5th.
Yeah,
that is a great drive.
Yeah, that is absolutely a great drive, and yeah, just what a race. We still have a couple drivers left to go, as SVM will cross the line, followed closely behind by Gary, and be abused. That's the spin right at the line.
Across the line.
He did. He did a little bit of trolling.
He spun it, yeah. By the way, second Haas points this season.
Yep, so already they have done better than last week.
I mean, all they needed was 1 point, and they would have easily
That's
beaten
very
it.
true. But
the lows are very low, but they seem to be gotten better now. But as of right now, KDM back-to-back wins for Red Bull.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's going to be quite happy with that result, to say the least. And I think MRK will be even more happy with that, as he's currently leading the standings, and that will help him extend the lead he has.
I actually think the front two in the championship right now are as they were last week. KDM obviously back-to-back wins. NVA was in second place. I believe NVA finished 4th that race? Oh, no, 6th. Wow, okay, a lot lower than that. Ketchin will actually take second place now. So Ketchin's now at the second, I believe.
Yep, Ketchin is second.
And NVA will be down to 3rd.
Yep. So, just show everybody real quick. So, yeah, that was a race and a half, to say the least. That was
Very
absolutely incredible. And Jaime actually got the fastest lap of the race. He got into the minute 5s. Only one other driver did that entire time. That's actually really impressive. But yeah, that was it. So next week we are going to an all-time classic, one of the greatest tracks in the
And one of my favorites.
One of my favorites as well. And it will be Silverstone, United Kingdom, Britain. Anyways,
British in it.
yeah, I have a feeling that someone in the chat heard what I just said, got infuriated by it. But yeah, that's it. We'll be seeing you all next week in Silverstone.